When President Biden arrived in Israel and gave Prime Minister Netanyahu that infamous hug, when the Prime Minister basically blocked the Israeli president in order for him to get that embrace by the American president, that wasn't a classic hug. That wasn't bromance. That was a bear hug. The American president came to Israel. His visit was a bear hug. What is a bear hug? A bear hug is when you tell someone who is in trouble, as you embrace them very, very closely, you tell them, don't worry, I will protect you.
I've got you.
But down the road, you owe me. That's the bear hug. Presumably, America has given Israel numerous bear hugs along the way over the past 55 years. The problem with Israel, unlike other countries, say, for example, Ukraine or Iraq or any which country, is that Israel has that leverage in Washington, that it gets the arms, it gets the money, but when it comes to the advice, it tells Washington, no, 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 we can manage ourselves. We know what is our national security. This time around, President Biden has been insistent from the very, very beginning that his bear hug is not another bear hug. He's been saying is, look, we've come all the way for you. We used our leverage diplomatically, strategically. We deployed 2 aircraft carriers. We replenished your armaments. We are 100% behind you. There is no daylight between us. If you do succeed in this war against Gaza, which the Americans think they will, then you're going to have to deliver for us on the diplomatic front.
So, as I listen to you, is it fair then to believe, is there a reason to believe that this war, for as bloody and tragic as it is, and for as many civilians as have already died, and as many more civilians are going to die, more than likely, in this war, are you telling us that it actually could open a window which hasn't been opened in a very long time for real, sincere peace negotiations?
Well, maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's just backtrack just a little bit. Biden, before this visit in October, was in Israel, Palestine after he became president. And he told President Abbas, the Palestinian president, he told him, forget about a 2-state solution. This is not the time for a 2-state solution. President Biden couldn't even muster opening the American consulate in East Jerusalem in order to serve the Palestinian side. He couldn't basically count on anything when it comes to Israel because of the Netanyahu government and its predecessor government. So right-wing, so fascist, so fanatic, that basically the Americans couldn't use their leverage with Israel. And Israel has such leverage in the American Congress that basically you couldn't push Israel around. Be that as it may, now the question is one of two. I hope it's the second. The first is Biden is basically covering up for Israel as it is finishing its genocide. Because we are already, you and I and the rest of us, rushing to talk about the day after. But we are still in today. And genocide is unraveling today. And Biden and Blinken are still giving cover to Israel, diplomatic and otherwise, and the promises of peace in order for Israel to continue with this genocide. That's one possibility. The second possibility is the one we just addressed, is that the Americans are serious. They are sick and tired of this conflict continuing under their own auspices. They have tried for 30 years, since Oslo started in 1993, to bring an end to this conflict, which is the Israeli occupation of Palestine, and they have not succeeded. Is this the chance for them to actually be honest for a change and actually apply the necessary pressure and the leverage that they now have with Israel in order to bring peace? Remains to be seen.